Defying tyranny with a single cannon shot, on October 2, 1835, the Battle of Gonzales ignited the Texas Revolution and birthed the legendary cry, "Come and take it." It was the fall of 1835. Mexican President Santa Anna had dissolved the Constitution and made himself dictator. Tensions began to flare between his oppressive government and the liberty-minded desires of Texans and Tejanos. Mexican military leaders trying to suppress a revolution began their quest to quietly disarm Texans. One of the first actions was to retrieve a cannon lent to the Texan colonists at Gonzales. The famous cannon was loaned to the Gonzales colonists by the Mexican government in 1831 to defend themselves from hostile Apaches and Comanches. The relationship between Texas and Mexico during this period had always been somewhat tumultuous. In the early 1820s, Mexico granted permission to Stephen F. Austin to colonize the area around the Brazos River for purposes of expanding Mexican territory and barring the French from encroaching into the region. Texans began moving into the area because of its fairly open borders and plentiful amount of inexpensive land. But in 1830, Mexico prohibited further immigration by U.S. citizens into the area since it feared the ideals of the Mexican government and American immigrants differed in significant ways. Texas was removed from Mexico both geographically, being separated by the Rio Grande, and culturally, given that Texas was made up of English-speaking colonists. Knowing that the stiff tensions between the Texans and the centralist government of Santa Anna could provoke aggression on either side, Domingo de Ugartechea enlisted the help of Captain Francisco de Castañeda and an estimated 100 Mexican cavalrymen to repossess the cannon, which had been buried in a peach orchard near the Colorado River for safety. The cannon was retrieved by the Texans when becoming aware of the Mexican captain's intentions and readied for battle by being mounted on cartwheels. The Mexican troops were met by high water and a group of 18 militiamen, both of which blocked their entrance into Gonzales. Captain Castañeda asked that a message be relayed to the mayor, Andrew Ponton, but the Texan militiamen said he'd need to wait for Ponton's return. Castañeda and his troops set up camp a few hundred yards nearby in anticipation for Ponton's arrival. Meanwhile, Gonzales citizens called for backup from the surrounding settlements to build a stronger resistance. On September the 27th, 1835, Captain Robert Coleman arrived at the banks of the Guadalupe River with a company of 30 mounted Indian fighters. Soon, 150 Texas militia had gathered in total. "Come and take it" was a motto adopted by the Texas rebels defending the cannon. Sarah Seeley DeWitt and her daughter Eveline hastily designed and created the old cannon flag, which today is known as the "Come and Take It" flag, from a wedding dress belonging to Naomi DeWitt. It depicts the small Spanish-made cannon with a black singular star above it, and the words "Come and Take It" spanning the width of the battle flag underneath the cannon. This wasn't just Texas's first battle flag. It was the first Lone Star flag as well. On October 1st, 1835, Captain Castañeda began to demand officially that the cannon be handed over, but not without numerous militiamen taunting the Mexican troops to "come and take it." The people of Texas rallied in support of the men defending the cannon. Boldly, the Texas front marched across the Guadalupe at night, preparing to attack Mexican troops the following morning. At daybreak, October 2nd, fog blanketed what would become the battlefield of the first contest of the Texas Revolution. Colonel John H. Moore was in command of the 1st Army of Texas Volunteers, and with the cannon loaded and the "Come and Take It" flag waving high, the army of brave Texans sprung a surprise attack on Castañeda and his troops, using guerrilla tactics and attacking from concealed positions. The Mexican army was outnumbered by manpower and firepower. The small cannon, mounted on a wheeled base, was fired twice during the clash between the Texan volunteers and the Mexican army. The battle lasted only a few hours because Castañeda and his troops retreated, marking victory for the Texan side. The Battle of Gonzales, with the come-and-take-it flag flying high, marks the first sign of a break between Texas colonists and the Mexican government, which would ultimately lead to the formation of the Republic of Texas less than a year later. The come-and-take-it battle had a significant impact on Texas history. It galvanized the Texan settlers' resolve and grit, leading to the larger Texas Revolution, and ultimately, the creation of the Republic of Texas. In this moment, the Texans proved that liberty was worth any cost. Their stand at Gonzales became a clarion call to all who yearned for freedom. So to this day, we remember their powerful declaration, "Come and take it."